Hi, welcome to Snoriezzz, a children's bedtime podcast hosted by your Snory godmothers. I'm Marcia Gay Harden, and I love sleep.
And I'm Natalie Peyton. I love sleep too. Thanks for joining us.
Time to settle in, snuggle up, put your head on the pillow, and get ready for your Snoriezzz bedtime ritual. First, we start with mindful talk. Mindful talk is one of our favorite times to dedicate to you, dear dreamers. We're here to remind you of your power and amazingness.
That's right, Snory Godmother Marcia. And in our affirmations this episode, we will speak truth into the power of your mind.
Kiddos, we are inspired by you, how your mind works, and your openness to learn. You are being a good leader and empowering yourself each and every day by making a bedtime ritual with us. As you grow up, we hope you remember to keep these affirmations and good habits in your daily lives.
Each day brings new challenges and opportunities to learn and grow. By having an open mindset like, okay, I'll try that, rather than a fixed mindset like, hey, that's not how it goes, you will be surprised by how flexible your mind can be in every situation.
So as we say our affirmations together, let's celebrate you, your open mind, and your good work on your bedtime ritual.
Repeat after your Snory godmother Marcia. Say it quietly or say it in your mind. But don't just say it, kiddos. Really feel it and experience the energy of the words.
I like to figure things out.
Your intelligence is your superpower.
I trust my own judgment and do not need to follow the crowd.
Yes, little one, trusting yourself is so important.
I am proud of who I am, just as I am.
Yes, and you should be, because you are so unique.
I like listening to my body.
Fantastic, because here's your Snory science tip. Did you know that you have a little clock inside your brain that talks to you? It's called your circadian rhythm. When the sun comes up, it sees the light and tells your body it's time to wake up. And when it's dark outside, it tells your body it's time to sleep.
I am brave enough to speak the truth, even when others do not.
Yes, it's wonderful to trust yourself, just like you will hear in today's Snory, where a little boy in the crowd is the only one speaking the truth. The Snory is almost here, kiddos, but first, we want to guide you through a brief grounding exercise so your mind can be open, your body can be still, and you can be ready to hear the Snory. We do this by grounding with your surroundings and focusing on our senses. This grounding is all about you. So first, we want you to start by wrapping your arms around your body and giving yourself a big bear hug. How does that feel? Next, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, notice where you feel your breath. Was it in your nose, your mouth, your belly, your chest? On your next inhale, notice what your breath sounds like. Is it like a gentle breeze in the park? Or maybe it sounds like a strong, powerful wind before a storm. Begin breathing normally, and with your eyes closed, think about what your thoughts look like. As you imagine your thoughts, whether big or small, happy or sad, you can gently guide them, kiddos. One way to do that is by shifting your thoughts to something that makes you very happy, like a smell. Let's think of that happy smell. Maybe it's the smell of your bedroom, or of grass after a fresh rain. It could be your favorite flowers, or maybe it's the smell of the dessert you love. Have you thought of one? Super. I'd like to smell that. Breathe in and out. and gently recall how your dinner tasted. Taking one last deep breath in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth, praise yourself for taking the time to get grounded and opening up your imagination so you can enjoy the Snory.
Our Snory today is called The Emperor's New Clothes, and it's by the same author who wrote The Ugly Duckling, Hans Christian Andersen. The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, many, many years ago, there was an emperor who ruled a small country. This particular emperor just loved to dress in new clothes. In fact, he was so fond of new clothes that he spent all of his money on them. He didn't seem to care about spending money on his army. He didn't even care about the arts or music. And if he did go to the theater or for a horse ride in the woods, well, he only did it because there might be people around who admire his beautiful clothing and tell him how handsome he was. He just loved to show off his beautiful clothing. Why, he had a new outfit for every day. Do you know how in most countries people might say about a king or a president or an emperor or any leader, well, they are working hard, they're in their office. But about the emperor, the people just said, he's in his dressing room. The town where the emperor lived was happy. It was a busy little town. A lot of tradespeople and strangers came through it to sell their merchandise like fruits and vegetables, wood and cloth. One day, two sneaky rascals came to town, and they said that they were weavers. We know how to weave the most beautiful and exquisite cloth possible. It's unlike any fabric that you've ever seen. It's gorgeous. Everyone was interested, especially the emperor. He wanted beautiful cloth to make more new clothes. But, the weaver said, the colors and the patterns and the clothes that are made of this fine material have a peculiar property. Only some people can actually see it. To others, the cloth is invisible. What do you mean? Demanded the emperor. Well, for instance, said the tallest of the two weavers, only wise people can see this wonderful cloth that we make. But if someone is, say, doing a bad job at their work, they are the kind of person who can't see the cloth. Oh, yes, said the other one, who was little and round. And if someone is very stupid, they can't see the cloth either. Those must be valuable clothes, thought the emperor, and by wearing them, I will be able to discover which of the workers in my empire are not good at their jobs. I'll also be able to tell wise men and women from fools just by figuring out who can see the clothes and who can't. Ha ha! Yes, I must order some of that stuff and wear it immediately. So he told the rascals to weave some of the fine cloth for him, and then he paid them a huge sum of money in advance as they required. Well, what do you think those rascals did? Oh, they were sneaky. They put up 2 weaving looms and pretended to be weaving, but there was no thread at all on their shuttles. They were just weaving in the air. They demanded from the emperor the finest silks and the purest gold thread to make their cloth, they said. But do you think they sewed with it? Oh, no. They put it right into their own bags, and then they sat there and pretended to work at their own looms, their empty looms, until late in the night. People could peek in the window and see them working, but they couldn't see the material. After a few days, the emperor was curious to see the beautiful cloth. I would like to know how those weavers are getting on with this stuff, thought the emperor. But he was worried to go see it himself because what if, heaven forbid, he couldn't see it? I mean, the rascals had said that anyone who was stupid or not good at their jobs wouldn't be able to see the material. What if that turned out to be him? Oh, that's silly, he thought. Of course, the emperor believed that he had nothing to fear for himself. Why, he thought he was a wise, smart man. Indeed, he was the emperor after all. but still, he was a little bit nervous, and so he decided it's probably better to send someone else first to see how the work is coming on. Just like the emperor, all of the people in town had heard of the strange quality of the material, and every single person in town was curious to see this material and to discover how foolish his neighbor might be, because, of course, no one thought that they themselves would be considered foolish or stupid, so they would all naturally be able to see the wonderful material. What shall I do? Wondered the emperor. Who shall I send? I know. I will send my faithful old prime minister to the weavers. He'll be the best capable of judging this peculiar cloth because he is a man of good sense, and nobody's a better worker or a wiser man than he. So the worthy old prime minister went into the room where the two rascals sat working. Their looms were empty, but they just kept pretending to be working anyway. Oh, heaven save us, thought the old man, opening his eyes wide. Why, I can't see anything at all. But he was careful that he didn't say that out loud. Both of the rascals watched him carefully and begged him to step a little nearer. And they asked him if he didn't think the pattern was very pretty. Yes, and the coloring fine. They pointed at the empty loom as they asked these questions, and the poor minister just kept staring as hard as he could. But he couldn't see anything on the loom because, of course, there was nothing there to see. Oh, heaven save us, thought the old man again. I can't see anything at all. Is it possible that I am actually a fool? I've never thought I was a fool before, and if I am, oh my goodness, nobody must know it. And since I can't see the stuff on the loom, maybe it is true that I'm a fool or not fit for my job. Oh, I can never tell anyone that I can't see the material. Well, sir, do you say nothing about the cloth? Asked the tall one, who was pretending to work on his loom, smiling and going on about his work. Oh, it is most elegant. Yes, most beautiful, the dazed old man lied as he peered again through his spectacles. Oh, yes, what a fine pattern and what fine colors. I will certainly tell the emperor how pleased I am with the stuff. Oh, we are glad that you like it, giggled both of the weavers. And then they named all the colors and pointed out all the special features of the patterns. And the minister paid a lot of attention to everything they said so that he could repeat it to the emperor when he went back to him to prove to him that he could actually see it. And what do you think happened now? Well, those cheats asked for more money, more silk, and more gold thread, so we can proceed with our weaving, they said. But did they actually weave with it? No, of course, they put it all into their own pockets, and not a single gold thread went into the material. And they just went on as before, pretending to weave at the empty loom. After the minister reported to the emperor all about the colors and the patterns, the emperor became even more curious to see the beautiful material. But he wasn't quite ready to go look for himself and test if he could see it or not, so he sent another person that he trusted, an honest stateswoman, to see how the weaving was progressing. He asked her to find out if the stuff would be ready soon. But the same thing happened with her as it did with the minister. She went into the rascals' room, and there they were at the loom, but she saw nothing, just an empty loom and nothing else. Isn't this piece exquisite? asked the tall weaver, pointing to the loom. He began explaining all about the beautiful patterns and the colors, which were not there to be seen. She gazed and gazed at the empty loom. I am not stupid. I know I'm not, the stateswoman said to herself. So it must be that I am not doing a good job at the office. Oh,
This is very strange. No one has ever said that to me before, so I must not let it be noticed."
So she, too, praised the cloth that she did not see, and assured the weavers that she was delighted with the lovely colors and the exquisite pattern.
Yes, it's perfectly charming,"
the honest stateswoman lied. She then reported back to the emperor.
"Oh, it's fabulous, just fabulous, like nothing you've ever seen."
Everybody in town was talking about the splendid cloth. Now the emperor was ready to see it himself. He wanted to see it while it was still on the loom. So with a company of carefully selected people, including the stateswoman and the minister, he went to visit the crafty impostors who were working as hard as ever at the empty loom.
"Is it not fabulous?"
said the not-so-honest stateswoman.
"Oh, yes. Look, Your Majesty. See what splendid colors it has, and what a gorgeous pattern,"
said the old minister. And they both pointed to the looms because they believed that the others in the room could see what they did not. The emperor stared at the empty looms. To himself he said, "I can see nothing at all. This is terrible. Am I a fool? Maybe I'm not fit to be an emperor. Why, nothing more dreadful could happen to me." So out loud, he lied.
Oh, it's very pretty. It has my highest approval."
And he nodded and waggled his head up and down with satisfaction as he stared at the empty looms, for he wouldn't let them know that he could see nothing. Everyone in the room gazed and gazed, each person seeing no more than the others, but they all thought that the others could see the cloth, so like the emperor, they all exclaimed, "Oh, my gosh, it's beautiful." But then they suggested that the emperor should wear clothing made from this cloth for the special occasion of the great parade, which was soon to take place. Splendid, gorgeous, magnificent went from mouth to mouth. Everyone was equally delighted with the weaver's workmanship. The emperor even awarded each of the rascals a medal of honor. He gave them the new title, Gentlemen Weavers of the Imperial Court. What do you think happened now? Well, the night before the parade, the weavers sat up the whole night burning 16 candles so people who looked through the window could see how hard they were working and how anxious they were to get the emperor's new clothes ready. They pretended to take the material from the loom. They cut it out in the air with huge scissors, and they stitched away with needles, which had no thread on them. At last they said, "Now the clothes are ready." Early that morning, before the parade began, the emperor came to them to get dressed, and he brought his whole court with him. Each of the rascals lifted up their arms as if they held something heavy in them, saying,
See, here are the trousers," said the little round one.
"And here is the coat, and here is the cloak," said the tall one. They pretended to put it over his shoulders.
"Oh, it's as light as spiders' webs. Why, one could almost feel as if he had nothing on," said the emperor.
"But that's the beauty of it," said the tall one. "It's so light, it feels like nothing." "Oh, yes, so light and beautiful," said all of the courtiers. But they saw nothing, because there was nothing to see. "Will your majesty be graciously pleased to take off all of your clothes here, so that we may put on the new clothes before the great mirror?" said the tall one.
Yes, please do that,"
said the small one. So the emperor took off his clothes, and the rascals pretended to put on first one garment and then another of the new clothes they had pretended to make. They pretended to fasten something around his waist, perhaps a sash, and they pretended to tie on something else. "This," they said, "is the train." And the emperor turned around and around before the mirror to swish it back and forth.
"Oh, my gosh, how splendid His Majesty looks in his new clothes. Oh, yes, aren't they becoming?"
all the courtiers cried.
"Oh, yes,
isn't that a splendid costume?"
"The canopy that is to be carried over His Majesty to protect him in case of rain during the parade is waiting outside," said the master of ceremonies. "Well, I'm ready," said the emperor, but he twirled around and around in front of the mirror to appear as if he were admiring his new costume. The young ladies who were supposed to carry the long train behind him glanced at each other, and then they each stooped down and put their hands near the floor, as if they were each lifting up a beautiful gauzy train, and then they each pretended to be holding it high in the air. They did not want it to be noticed that they couldn't see or feel anything. They wanted to keep their jobs. So the emperor went along in the parade, under the splendid canopy, and everyone in the street said, "Oh, how beautiful the emperor's new clothes are," or "Oh, look at the emperor's new clothes," or "What a splendid train," and "How well all the clothes fit." No one wanted to let it appear that they could see nothing, for that would prove them not fit for their job. So they went along with the crowd. But one little child looked at the emperor and began to giggle. "Mummy," he said, "Mummy, the emperor has nothing on." "Quiet! But what did you say?" said his mother. "I said, he has nothing on," said the little child, louder. But the crowd kept saying how beautiful the emperor looked in his new clothes, and so the little child said it again, very loudly. "I said, he has nothing on. I can see his bum-bum." "Just listen to the innocent child," said the father. And one person whispered to another person what the child had said. "He has nothing on." "A child has said he has nothing on." "What? A child has said he has nothing on." "Well, the child has said he has nothing on." "No, he's got nothing on, but he's got nothing on." All the people cried together. The emperor was startled by this, because he kind of had a sneaking suspicion that they were right. "But," he thought, "I have to make them feel silly, not me. I have to stick to my story, even if it's not true. I must face this to the end and go on with the parade." So he held himself up even more stiffly and proudly than before. And the two young ladies held up the train that was not there at all. And the little child laughed as the emperor proudly finished the parade. The end.
Now it's time to calm your body down. All you have to do is allow your body to relax and your mind to rest. Then your brain does all the work for you. Tonight's Calm Your Body Down is a visual relaxation. Let go of any inner talking in your mind and find yourself in the most restful place now for both your body and mind. Now let's imagine a steady flow of starlight traveling through your body, allowing it to relax every part of you. The starlight is warm and trickles up through your toes, to your legs, over and around your knees, and the starlight fills up your body, right through your hips. With each bit of starlight, your body is becoming more and more relaxed. And now let the starlight flood to your back and into your stomach. Imagine your starlight washes away any discomfort. It travels to your chest, upper back, your arms, and your hands. Notice a warm relief and stillness in your body and mind. Now the starlight travels through your neck, your throat, your head, and your hair. All you're doing in this moment is being still, listening, and letting this imaginary starlight flow through your body. Bring your awareness back to your body. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose and slowly breathe out through your mouth. And now you've calmed your whole body down on this beautiful night using your warm imaginary starlight to help you peacefully fall asleep. Now gently close your eyes and sleep in peace.
Sweet dreams. Sleep tight and know that everything's going to be all